We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves. We making major moves. We going all in. Like we got nothing to lose. We making moves. We making major moves.
What is up, everybody? I'm Mr. Man. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special show to bring you today. Normally I'm here talking to you all about cryptocurrencies, about finances, about real estate, about ways to mitigate risk, and the goal is to keep more of your finances intact. It doesn't matter how much you make. What's important is how much you keep. And that being said, it's how much you keep isn't so important if your health isn't with you. So today I have a good friend of mine coming to chat with us. Her name is Kari-Gail Roy Jansson, and she is a health specialist, and she specializes in all things natural. So how you doing, Kari-Gail?
I'm doing great, thanks, Mr. Man. Thank you for having me today on your show.
Awesome. I'm grateful to have you here, and I'm sure the audience watching will also be grateful to have you as well. I heard you had done a show with Mel Carmine not long ago. How was that?
I did. We had a lot of fun, but I haven't seen it released yet. So I'm hoping that it gets aired sometime soon, so I can send that link to my peeps.
All right. Well, this one I should have it up in about 2 days. Once this video is done, I'll have it rendered and I'll get you out there to the masses, and hopefully people will have heard about you. They'll hear about what you do, recognize that you're here to help them, and it's not about the money, it's about health and longevity. So with that being said, I want to take us into this conversation here. We are now at a point in this collapse within our world, within the financial world, because everything is all connected. And with this collapse in the financial world happening, things are beginning to escalate and speeding up rather quickly. And some of the things that have been tossed out there that can harm myself and yourself, we've heard about COVID from a few years back making its rounds again. There was the bird flu summit just last October that had passed, October 3rd to 4th, I believe it was. There's anthrax out there now. There's polio. There is the monkeypox, and I don't even know what else is out there. But here we are now, both of us in good health. And I'd like to think that the audience out there listening is in good health too. For you individuals that are not, we will get to you. But right now I'm just focusing on the individuals who are in good health. And at this point here, we can be proactive. So should something attack us and our immune system is down, what are some of the things that we can look at to do naturally to help us build our immunity back up?
So great question. Well, as you know, I currently have an energy enhancement system here located in Huntsville, Ontario. I have 8 units, and that's just gone viral around the world, right? And it for a reason. It's very effective. I've been open since July of 2023, which has allowed me to gracefully bow out of my nursing. And we've had one miracle after another. It's been fabulous. I just love it. So I've been doing this full time. And in conjunction with that, I've been helping my clients with either biofeedback, raindrop therapy, reflexology, and coaching them on nutrition just to boost their health system, their immune system. And I don't know if the audience knows what the energy enhancement system is, so I'd just like to expand a little bit on that. And so it looks like broken laptops, and they're all mounted along the ceiling, and they spin through different colors, and they're all at different speeds. And it does look like broken laptops. Like you walk in and if it's your first time, you're quite taken aback by the setup. But even people who aren't that sensitive, they can feel as soon as they come in the room that it starts relaxing them. So it's putting your body into parasympathetic mode. And how it's doing that is it's emitting all these frequencies, scalar and biophotonic light therapy and Schumann and Fibonacci. And then it rotates through about 13 other frequencies, like frequencies of the virgin rainforest and dolphin frequency and whale frequency, etc. And you feel very relaxed. And so you either sit in a reclining chair or a bed and you close your eyes. Very important to close your eyes because it takes so much energy to tell your brain what you're looking at, right? So you want your eyes closed, the lights are off, and the frequencies are just hitting your body and charging your cells. And when your cells are charged, they function better. And so things that you'll see is an increase in your immune system, like a boost. You'll probably sleep better. You'll handle stress better. It balances your hormones. It balances the right and left hemisphere of the brain, giving you more energy. Most people feel really good after their session. Some people even state that they feel euphoric. There's lots of stuff physically, but also spiritually and emotionally people are noticing, which is hugely important. Like I've had people remember repressed grief from childhood, which has helped with part of their healing journey, right? Like recognizing for what it is and letting it go, right? The biofeedback, I use the Indigo device. So you actually sit in the room and have an EE session as well as having a biofeedback. So you're actually hooked up to the biofeedback device. And this is great because it can focus more specifically on areas of concern. Whereas with the energy enhancement system, I like to use that analogy of an iceberg. People come in with a list of things that they want to get rid of, but that's just what they know about. And so sometimes it doesn't meet what they want, but underneath is what really needs to happen. And your body has this innate knowing that, no, that's not the priority. These are the priority things, and it deals with them accordingly. And so everybody feels stuff and everybody notices things. It might not be in the order that you want, but it's the order that your body needs to deal with it, right? And you've had a session. So what did you think about your session?
I have had a session. I've had a few sessions, and
yes,
it's rather interesting. I think I'll get into it, but I'd like to give you the opportunity first because I had done this or started this backwards. I should have allowed you to introduce yourself. That way people know who Kari-Gail is, what Kari-Gail's done, where Kari-Gail has come from. So that way it qualifies you to be able to speak about what you're speaking about now, or what we're speaking about rather.
Sure. Great. So my background, I have 6 specialties in nursing, and my journey to complementary and allopathic, or from allopathic to complementary and alternative, came about probably about 17 years ago when my husband became very sick and we just weren't getting the help that we needed from Western medicine. And so I started getting desperate because I saw his lifeline just sort of diminishing. And I started doing my bachelor's of science in holistic nutrition because I thought maybe we needed to change our diet up, and that helped a bit, but not totally. And then I became a biofeedback specialist, and just one thing after another, a reflexologist. And then I I started getting involved with the Young Living essential oils, and that's been huge, using their non-toxic products. So I learned a lot about taking toxicities out of our body and also being aware of pathogens like parasites, fungus, bacteria, viruses, which was, anyways. And so that's where I've come in. I love helping people naturally without those side effects. And I use all my modalities and I put them together as a package to support everyone who comes to see me. So when you're coming for your energy enhancement system, we're talking to you, we're finding out what's going on in your life and what are you doing to help yourself, and how can we, change things up a little bit to make it more effective for your healing journey. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, regarding my session in the EESystem, I believe I was there for, I want to say a week and a bit. And I guess I walked in with expectations of what I would like to have happen, as you were saying. And when it was all said and done, and I look back and reflect on it, I don't know what was actually done. I don't know what I felt. I don't know what I don't know. But I do know that when I had gone for runs out there, after the EESystem, Like I was good out there on the runs. The pains I typically feel in certain areas, I didn't recognize, and that could be because I was altering my steps or doing something different. But this was happening without the consciousness of my thought and me being a proactive person with my body needing during that portion of the run. So I can state that the EE system helped me with my run with the pain where I typically would feel some pain. I did not feel it to the extent that I normally would have. Like usually with my step, I pronate, so when I step, my foot hits like this, and then it rolls in. So I hit with the back, hits on an angle like this, and then it rolls in, and that shock like this is a slap and completely burns the side here and burns the side of my foot. And then once that hits here, the heel, here, that heel step sends shock waves all up my leg itself, right up to my hip, and eventually I can feel it in my sciatic. I don't recall feeling this pain after the distances that I had run. It got to the point where I couldn't run anymore, which was good. I had reached my capacity, thought I could get back to the house, and I just didn't make it because I was just exhausted at that point. Not because I was in pain, but rather I was exhausted, which was fantastic. And I love when that happens, to have a run defeat me, as opposed to me giving in to the run itself.
Well, I remember after your first session, I remember what you said. I remember standing outside talking to you and saying goodbye, and you said that you felt almost superhuman and that you felt like you could run a marathon.
Yeah, I had to call my wife to come pick me up because I was like, I can't finish this right now. Like I was done. The body was just done at that point. But it was nice being able to get back out there and me just finding my zen. I call it my church. When I'm out there on my run, my body does what it was trained to do. My mind is quiet and I hit my autopilot, is what it's known as there. But you were talking about biofeedback, right? Can you explain what that is? Because I'm picturing, for lack of a better term, some slurry in a bag. Like I have no idea what this actually is.
Yeah, biofeedback. So I have been a biofeedback specialist. I started in 2005, and I use an Indigo device, and I hook my clients up with a head harness around their forehead, and then straps on their wrists and their ankles. And then we put in the demographics, and it checks for about 11,000 stressors in the body, and it lets me know if they're chronic or acute, meaning if the issue has been ongoing, long term. And then we chat and we figure out I'm looking for repetitive patterns as well. And then I'm doing therapies. So trying to get that homeostasis in the body, trying to bring balance back, right? And opening pathways of elimination and putting them into parasympathetic modes. So we deal a lot with physical stuff because my background's nursing. So, pain, relaxation, helping you sleep better, decreasing anxiety, helping with migraines, headaches, supporting chronic issues like diabetes, Parkinson's and whatnot, working with the nervous system. It's actually quite extensive, and we do 2-hour sessions. Yes.
So you're working with the nervous system for things like diabetes, chronic issues. It sounds sorry?
Yeah. Sorry, you work with the nervous system all the time, right? You're
okay. So
always wanted to balance that.
I was just gonna say that this sounds like more like it can be proactive and also reactive, because if you catch it early enough, whatever it is, it can be a proactive stance. But if you're already in something, it helps you with being reactive to whatever the going on in the body is. That's correct?
Yes, very correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you said you have several other modalities. So we were discussing being proactive with some things here. For my audience out there who are currently living with some things here, what are some modalities that you could present to them that could help them, say, raise their energy, help them strengthen their immune system? I guess even ways to get deep down inside the body itself, say like blood analysis. You do this, correct?
Yes. So that's actually something that I do like to do, is to check the red blood cells. A lot of people are having rouleau, so the red cells are stuck together and they look like stacks of coins. And then they have their session and the red cells are separated and free floating, which is how they bring oxygen and nutrients, right, to the places that they need to go. That's what you want. You don't want your red blood cells all stuck together. And that's what we're seeing a lot right now. And so that's one of the things that just demonstrates that something has happened post-session. And then I also have a heart rate variability device that Adam Mandel has invented. And that's really nice too. It checks 7 parameters of Western medicine and 7 parameters of Eastern medicine. And so we can do a 5-minute session pre any of the modalities that I do and then check it again, just so that you can see that there's been changes happening. But if you're listening to this, things that you can do to boost your immune system and help keep yourself healthy is really focusing on whole foods and staying away from sugar, especially, and processed foods. That's the easiest thing, to put stuff in our food, right, that's not great for us. And there's a lot of, you know, talk, rumors going around about parasites galore. And so a lot of cleansing right now is happening. And I think if you're sticking with whole foods, you're less likely to have those issues. Washing your fruits and vegetables before you eat them. And then following the medical medium. So if you haven't heard, that's Anthony William, and his books are amazing, to say the least. And he's helped many, many people, like thousands and thousands worldwide. And we follow his protocol. And one of the things, everyone thinks it's a fad, but man, you start doing it and you notice big changes. And that's the juicing of organic celery. So there's a lot of benefits to juicing organic celery, but basically with the salt clusters in it, it's working on healing anything from the mouth right through all the intestines, like your whole digestive system, right to the anus, right? And supporting the digestive organs, like your liver, which is huge. Like if the liver's not happy, then nothing really is happy in the body. So doing the lemon water first thing in the morning is great. It hydrates you. It gives you minerals. It gives you glucose. Your brain needs glucose to function properly. There's a lot of brain fog going on around now, and that helps with that, helps to counteract it. Wait half an hour, juice your celery juice. Well, he recommends 2 cups a day, but if you've never had it before, I would suggest just a shot, like 30 cc's to start out with, and then work your way up. And then detox smoothie, man, after that. So 30 minutes later, you do your detox smoothie. And wild blueberries. I get mine from Sulicote. That's actually, Dr. Oz says it's one of the best places in the world for wild blueberries because of all the forest fires. And the soil content is just full of minerals. So wild blueberries, coconut water, banana, orange, freshly squeezed orange juice, cilantro, they all work synergistically to help chelate heavy metals and pathogens from the tissue, which is also what the EESystem does. It's huge for chelating the pathogens, heavy metals from the tissue, putting it in the bloodstream. And then we have a special solution that you bath with that pulls it out of the body. And drinking lots of water, keeping hydrated. Anyways, the detox smoothie also has Atlantic dulse, Hawaiian spirulina, and barley grass powder in it.
Can I ask you, what does chelate actually mean? Because other people out in the
Pulling,
audience might not know what that is. Okay.
Pulling stuff out. Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you go to the medicalmedium.com website, full of free recipes and guidelines to help boost everybody's immune system and get you on track. And really, everyone is so busy lifestyles are so fast paced that, you know, fast food has become the thing, right? It's so prevalent that I read in Toronto Star that they're selling apartments right now in Toronto with no kitchens.
Actually, that's
yes.
insane.
What do you need a kitchen for when you have all that fast food, right?
That's gross.
Anyways.
That's gross. I want to ask you too. You were talking about sugars. Is there any discrimination in terms of what type of sugars? Like honey's a sugar, agave is
Yes.
sugar, maple syrup is sugar, cane sugar, sugar, white sugar, brown sugar. Is there any discrimination between sugars?
So you want as natural and unprocessed as possible. So my go-tos are 100% maple syrup, um, raw honey, and fruits and vegetables. So I'll make brownies and I'll have like zucchini or apple or something in there as my sweetener. And sometimes molasses I'll use, but try to stay away from um, the alcohol, like erythritol. Uh, it's not too bad, but stevia, natural stevia, if you can find that, I'm finding that that's difficult to purchase. It has a lot of other stuff added to it usually. And you definitely want to stay away from white sugar and brown sugars. So super processed, causing inflammation in the body, right?
So that's actually really good. That's really good that you said that. I guess there's two follow-up questions I have. One of them is pertaining to like what your daily regimen looks like. That way, it could give the audience an idea into, okay, maybe I can start changing up my morning routine, and then maybe small things throughout the day to get to lunch, and then maybe a small thing to get to dinner type of deal. So if you don't mind discussing that, if you're open to that. And also,
Yes.
also for myself, growing up and until recently, I was not a big supplements fan. I didn't see the purpose of supplements or the reason for supplements itself, because in my mind I was getting the nutrients I needed, the minerals, the whatever I needed from my food itself. And then the recognition hit me that, well, our food is sprayed, the ground is completely polluted, the water has arsenic and every other chemical in there too. You get some fruit, you wash it off, you're washing off the Roundup on the fruit, but you're pouring arsenic on it there to clean it. Like it's just a horrible cycle. So in terms of like supplements, what have you considered to be good supplements? Small, like, I don't mean like a medicine cabinet worth of supplements, but just like small things someone can take to get them started, and then even a quality location to get them. Because I can see some people hearing, vitamin C will help you. I'll go to Amazon and grab some vitamin C. Meanwhile, the stuff they have on Amazon is garbage, unless you know what you're looking for.
Exactly. So you have to be really careful, because sometimes if they're not good quality, your body sees that as a toxin, right? And then your body's just fighting to remove that. So I don't take a lot of supplements. I do take iodine, especially if you live in the Goiter Belt, which is the middle of Canada, right across. We're not close to seafood, right? So we don't get that iodine that you would find in sea vegetables or seafood. And so a lot of people are borderline hypothyroidism, so a little couple drops of oral iodine. And I would go online and look that up. You want nascent iodine, and I just put a couple drops in my smoothie, and I do that every day. And I take sulfazyme as well. Sulfazyme is really good. It has methylsulfonylamine and as the key ingredient, and mine has, so sulfazyme is a supplement from Young Living, but it has goji berry and magnesium in it as well. And magnesium I take at bedtime, magnesium bisglycinate, because it helps with muscle twitching and helps you get to sleep easier. I wouldn't bother with vitamin C necessarily, because you can easily get that from your fruits and vegetables, right? Like peppers, oranges. Vitamin C is readily available in our food. The other thing I did want to say is that every morning I start my day out with a walk outside, and I live in the bush. So I'm just right in nature, right? So getting in nature is really hugely important. I start that, and then I do my lemon water, my celery juice, my detox smoothie. I started my exercise. I've incorporated weightlifting, which I have found has been huge for me. So, and if you don't know how to lift weights, I'm fortunate I have a Bowflex machine, so that's made it really easy for me. And but if you don't know, I just went on Facebook and Instagram, and I Googled people who were doing it and followed some of their regimes. And then I also end my day with a gratitude journal. So what am I grateful for? And who do I need to send love to? And I think that's highly important too, is our attitude and being grateful for what we already have and trying to be positive. So it's not just when we talk about putting stuff in our body, it's not just food we're talking about. We're talking about what we're putting on our skin, what we're listening to, what we're watching, who we surround ourselves with. That's all that stuff, right? That can be toxic. And so being really conscious of how we're living our life, right? Who we even surround ourselves with.
Yeah, I appreciate that you said that, the gratitude journal. That's something I had implemented in my daily routine years back while I was going through college, aviation management. And like, I'm not going to say recently, but something had shifted when I had moved up to Sioux Lookout and life had become hectic and the wheels began to fall off the car at that point for certain things that I was doing in my life. And I had picked up other things to replace that. But like, that was such a wonderful, mindful routine to provide the opportunity for me to just stop, reflect on my day, and welcome the thought of my day itself, because I recognize that my mind is just like spun from everything going on during the day itself. And there could be conversations that my wife and I have, and she's like, well, what did you think of that? I'm like, well, we didn't discuss this yet. We just spoke about it 10 minutes ago. I'm like, we did? You know, it's just kind of in one ear, out the other, over my head, whatever, you know, like I'm present, but I'm not present at time because of what's happening with the shift that's taking place within this world right now, and the way my focus has been at. I feel that I lack quality time for self and quality time for my wife. I provide quality time, but it's not quality time where the cognizance of Mr. Man could be there 100%, because in the back of my mind I'm still thinking about crypto assets or regulations or what's going on, or you know, or and then to allow that time to reflect on my day. It's like, well, hell, what did I do in my day? You know, like sometimes the day could be get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I put headphones in, begin studying immediately, and it's just a flurry of stuff that happens, and the next thing I know, it's like, well, damn, it's 8 o'clock. Let me begin to wind down for my day. And it's like, well, what did you do for your day, Mr. Man? It's like, well, shit, I don't even know. Like, it just, I recall waking up and now I'm going back to bed, you know? So to implement some of the things that we were discussing here in regards to the being able to stay in the EE system to help bring up that energy. And while you're in the EE system, like, you don't want to be on something like this. Is that correct?
No, you want your eyes closed, right?
Yeah.
And actually, I just have a new person right now, and she was going to put in some earbuds and listen to an audiobook. And I suggested for your first time, no earbuds, just go in there silent, because a lot of people have spiritual stuff happening, and you're not going to have that happen if you're listening to an audiobook. And speaking of that, the other thing that I do is meditate. Take some time just to ground yourself, check your body, what's going on with your body, just do some breathing exercises, you know, and calm your nervous system. You want to be doing something every day that's going to put you in parasympathetic mode, whether it's having a bath, meditating, singing, going for a walk in the bush, something, you know. And when I do my gratitude journal, then I go into Zen mode, because you're really, you know, you're calming everything, and you're trying to think, oh, what happened during my day? What am I grateful for? And that's hugely important, because I find too that when I just focus on my breathing, that's when answers are coming to me, and crazy thoughts and things that are going to help me in my life. And you can't hear them if you're just like thinking and going and doing all the time throughout the day, right? So slow it down at least once a day. And if you don't have time to sit and meditate for 30 minutes or something, even just taking 5 minutes or even a minute just to calm yourself, check your body, focus on your breathing, even that is going to do wonders for you.
And that's so what you just described there is what running is like to me. It allows me to just zen out and just quiet the mind, the continuous chatter in the skull, if you will. Like I find my mind is it's a good slave with a poor master because I struggle to shut it up, you know? So to allow that time to just take away from my frame of reference, stop the madness or the loud noises in the head essentially, and then just to allow that quietness to happen. So just to recap on the conversation that we've had here, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm very appreciative and respectful of your time. It is now 8 o'clock Eastern for yourself, and I know you're getting ready to wrap up your night here. But in terms of a more holistic approach to natural health, looking at what we could potentially be walking into, or dare I say sprinting into, with COVID, the vaccines, we have monkeypox, anthrax, bird flu, whatever else is out there. I don't know, but there's other things out there that people have been getting. You were suggesting this energy enhancing machine, which allows your which gives off frequencies, a scalar frequency, if I'm correct with that, which allows your body to enhance its own energy, which at that point allows the body to heal itself. Is that correct?
Right, right.
Okay.
Exactly. You are healing yourself. That's important to remember.
So to be able to pair that with the biofeedback and learning a bit about selves with this headband you were discussing here and the wristbands, along with loving yourself by doing things such as baths, by doing things such as mindfulness and headspace or meditation. Also, we were talking a bit about some supplements there, which is something the body needs because, again, not all the foods provide that. Based off of the description I had provided there with the arsenic, Roundup, with whatever's in the ground. I don't know. You know, I'm just a grown man in a Spider-Man mask here, trying to do the best I can in my life, this one life that I have, cognizantly. And is there anything I'm forgetting there, or did I?
Well, you know what? The other thing too that I just want to stress a little bit is with the movement, you want to make sure that you're getting your lymph system going, because that's hugely important for removing the toxins from the body. And one of the things I also do after I do my weights is stretching. So I do some mindfulness, stress reduction yoga, which is paired with pet therapy, because I get on the floor and my dog's like, whoa, coming down to my level, right? So we got some ball playing and face licking and laughter going on, and laughter, right? You need laughter in your life. Like that's medicine in and of itself. Nothing changes you more like so fast as just laughing. Little endorphins coming through.
I guess I wanted to add one more thing there. You said that because of this EESystem and a few other of the healing modalities that you've had, it's allowed you to leave your traditional workplace and now do your own business. I would just like to learn about the transition from your workplace to what you're doing now, because there's going to be some people in the audience here who are eventually or inevitably or in the process of leaving their traditional workplace and now having to create their own routine outside of this. So what was that like for you? What was your head like at this point? What was your health like? And what did you do to, I guess, better yourself during this to keep yourself healthy?
So I actually was fortunate. The transition was quite easy because I had Jason Shurka as my market manager. So he marketed me for 6 months before I even opened. So when I opened, I was able to just do this full time and gracefully bow out of nursing. After I finished I opened and finished off the last rotation, and then that was pretty much it. And because I'm in the space where I need to help others heal, I need to focus on myself. And so I sleep in the EE room. I drink lots of water. I'm moving my body more, I'm weightlifting. I'm seeing the changes. My clients are seeing the changes. And I'm studying lots. Like I'm constantly trying to learn stuff that's going to help my clients, right? I'm really big right now into autos, decoded cancer, because a lot of people are experiencing that, as you are aware, unfortunately.
Man,
And so
I wish we had
constantly learning.
spoken. I wish we had spoken a lot more about that. Actually, I didn't even think about
Yeah.
that one.
And one of my backgrounds is a certified chemo nurse. So I understand that, the side effects and, cancer and chemo and radiation and what that does to the body. And so I'm working with a lot of clients right now, trying to support their decisions and, not telling them one way or the other, just, giving them some education and letting them make their own choices. And, so that's where we're at right
Okay.
now with that.
Yeah, I guess that's to shed some light in what we're talking about there in regards to the cancer topic. I'm pretty open with my audience about my life and what's going on with it. I've been fairly quiet in the Twitterverse and on YouTube recently for the past week and a bit because I was down in Toronto. My uncle was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and this progressed rather aggressively. And I had gone down to Toronto to the hospital, not to the hospital, I gone down to Toronto to go see my cousin for his birthday party. Lo and behold, he ended up with an immediate heart surgery last year. Yeah, last year he had open heart surgery, just immediate open heart surgery. Something had happened, his heart stopped. He ended up in heart surgery just out of the blue, and it was like, what the hell is happening? A similar thing happened again. So I was in Toronto, supposed to go meet him. Birthday party got canceled because he had this now. Thankfully, I was down there because my uncle was now in the hospital with stage 4 stomach cancer, and I got to see. I was like one of the last people who had gotten to see him and have an actual conversation with him and advocate for him, because in the hospital I felt the hospital did not do justice for his wishes, for what he wanted, how he wanted to be treated, and I was there arguing on his behalf. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. I was there arguing on his behalf because he wanted to go the natural route, and they were trying to push a bunch of not natural substances on him. So I was grateful to have been there, and you and I had the opportunity to talk on the way down there too. And it's I appreciate the conversation that we had. I wish I had had it sooner with you, to have been able to provide some suggestions for my uncle in more of a natural light there. But that's life, and life continues, and with life sparks death, and that's all part of living. So Kari-Gail, I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your energy and the love and passion that you have for the information that you bring to people here. Is there any way that the audience can get a hold of you? Like, where are you set up with the EESystem, and how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, thanks. I'm in Huntsville, Ontario, which is about 2 hours northwest of Toronto. And you do have to physically be here for the energy enhancement system. Like, you do have to sit in the room. And you can get a hold of me from my website, which is www.transformationalhealth.ca. Or you can text me at 705-783-9599. And as he mentioned, it's Kari-Gail, and the center is Transformational Health. And I would be delighted to work with you. If you have questions, you can just give me a shout. And there's a lot of information on my website. There's videos, there's testimonials, there's what to expect, how a session goes, what it looks like. So, yeah. And then if you want to if you go to the website, it'll ask you for your name and email and whatnot. And then you can be added to my newsletter, which I send out monthly. And I host a lot of events every month where I have guest speakers. So it's not just me up there talking. There's other people who have other complimentary gifts, and the events usually are quite amazing. So yeah, touch base with me. I'll be happy to help anyone.
Absolutely. For all of you guys who might not have caught that, I will have those down. I'm not going to say in the show notes. In the description, I'll put the website down there. I'll put your name down there and your phone number down there for anybody to get a hold of you. You guys, I do hope you take this very seriously. You have one life. I have that tattooed across my chest here, one life. And cognizantly, consciously, in terms of recollection, this is one life that we have. That's it. That's it. After this life, that's it. You're here. I'm not going to use the term chasing wealth. We're here creating wealth. And you want to do all that you can to enjoy it when it finally comes. So what is your plan proactively and reactively? Because you don't want to do it retroactively. You don't want to, try to figure it out then. You want to do it now and catch it during time of. Kari-Gail, I thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you more than you know. More than you know.
Well, we'll see you soon. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Everybody else in the audience there, I hope you found value in this one, and I'll see you on the next one.
We making moves. We making major moves. We making moves.